Yeah, just one Mick here. I'm going to try and track down a little oil leak in my little green field. It's a Kohler Courage XTR7. Now the oil leak is coming off up in here, and to me that doesn't look like any gasket, so I don't know quite what's going on apart from the centre gasket. I've cleaned it all down and probably going to have to pull the engine, I think, but anyhow, that's another story. But I'm just wanting to do a video on the IT 490, which I've had, it's probably six years, I reckon. Now, this IT 490 I got up from Victoria. It's an IT 490K. It's a 1983 model, and it's a bloody good bike. It's got a start from the top. Still got the original headlights around. The fellow that owned it before me liked stickers, so that's original. It's a little bit loose, but that doesn't matter. It's just on a pin up here. It's got aftermarket front guard, black obviously, with this anodised support. It's got a disc brake front end. The front end's off a KDX 200, so it's only got a single piston caliper, and I've had MPE do the front forks up, put new seals and that in it, go all through it, and put a different rate spring in it, a little bit stiffer than standard. Still got the original front wheel by the look of it. The owner that owned it before me was a machinist. He's machined this spacer up here. There's little bits and pieces he's done over the whole bike everywhere. All stainless steel. Bolts, a lot of Allen keys. In this bike, obviously it's got a cover. I've got a new tank there for it, aftermarket tank. I just can't think of the brand. I put a new fuel gauge on it, that one, a fuel tap, sorry, that one was leaking. I've bored this engine. He's obviously, what's he done now? On the barrel, and the cylinder head's been sandblasted. I like that look finish. I much prefer that to black. I think dissipates heat better too. Black paint, I think, doesn't dissipate heat too well as far as I understand. So that's a DG pipe that I've painted. I'm going to have to repaint it, starting to peel, put some proper heat temperature paint on it, but that's been on it for a fair few months. Frame's painted silver, which I really like. It's painted black just down here, but the rest of the frame's painted silver. I really like it. I think it makes the bike look more modern. It's got a obviously either an original or an aftermarket seat cover on it, and motion, I just can't think of the brand of the guard, but anyhow, black aftermarket guard, which suits it really well and fits in here all nice. Fits in here beautifully actually. It looks a lot better than the standard guard, I think. Your genuine Yamaha blinkers, and 788 Pro Grip hand grips, which I like. I've got one of my Husky mirrors on it. It's still got the ignition, and I have a electronic speedo on it, but I'm going to have to buy another one of them because it's cracked where it slides on air. I don't think I can zippy tie it on. He's taken away the cover and made up an aluminium side cover there and riveted that on, which is good, and I just take the air filter out through. I want to have the seat off. Like I say, all stainless steel bolts, and on it, it has an XL rim on the back, and I got an EK heavy duty O-ring chain, DG tailpipe. I'd like to get the bike a little bit quieter because it's a little bit loud for my likings. I've got the original side covers tucked away because I don't want them to be stuffed up. But where are we? Yeah, so what have I done? Yeah, got an aftermarket air filter in it. That's a new carby which I've put in. It's made in Japan. Mikuni, same size as the original. I just got it through Hattrick up in Townsville. He's fitted up a in the frame here. He's fitted grease nipples all around the rear suspension, which I'll show you. grease nipple up here to grease the steering head, and a chain oil, which I don't use because it's an O-ring chain, but I do put a bit of oil in the frame just to keep the frame lubricated up so it won't rust out. Got a Mato Kiwi side cover, a lot better than the plastic one. There's the front disc, Polysport front fork protectors, which I'm going to get some new ones because they're going a bit hard. Little gold bleeders up there, caps on the air bleeders, all bearings and that in this. Machinist, as being a machinist, he's done a beautiful job of it. It's a Wiseco forged piston I've got it. It's the last oversize, and then I've got another barrel for it, spare barrel. So it's got a forged Wiseco in it, which I've had in it for probably 3 years, and it's running beautifully. Here's your grease nipples around the whole lot. He's made up this here, all stainless, and he's made up this here and this here, bolt through there. Just work over the whole bike is extremely good, I think. Got some DC plastic side covers which I've got to fit up to it, but I actually quite like it looking like that. I reckon it looks good. I reckon it looks pretty tough old rig. This is a great bike to ride in the bush. Just nice lazy power, only about 35 horsepower, but absolute bags of torque. So you can effectively just, it'll light up in third gear if you just rolled it on going up a hill, and if you weren't careful for throttle, once it lights up, it'll just straight over the back. There's just that much torque. You've got traction. I'm running a Midas, what do they call them? Stone King. It's a Midas Stone King, I think. Mate used to run them on his Husky 530, and about the only tyre that he'd had that'd hang together. Yep, Midas Stone King. There it is there. And it's 120/90/18. That doesn't grip at all in the bush, but I do a little bit of just light fire trails on this too, so it doesn't have to be that. It's super good. Done a modification on the stand. It's got a bigger plate on it, and also little things like this here, little trick. To me, that's absolute trick he's done there. That just beautiful work everywhere all over this bike. Apart from getting it bored, and I've got a new old stock CDI on it. Really, just apart from maintenance and just a few tidy up things that I've done just to set it up for how I like it set up. It's good. I want to get the back shock service shortly. I'll put a bit of heat wrap here so it doesn't melt the side case, so it can sit on that without melting, because that's the piece that juts out the most. But really, there's not much else I can tell you about this old bike, but you know, they're becoming probably fairly valuable. Oh, a little he's made up behind this little chain guard that I put on here, a beautiful little chain guard to protect the case. I'm not going to cut it off just to show you, but you want to see the workmanship in that. And yeah, it's just all over the bike. All the linkages are as tight as, say I grease them fairly regularly, so they're not wearing at all. Oh, extra around the foot pegs here, welded on a extra piece around here and an extra piece around here. Just the whole bike, everywhere you look over it. So this is a bike that I'll just keep. I'll keep it. Because when my mum passed away, I did get a little inheritance, like $10,000 or something. Yeah, mum was just a pensioner, but she left all of us $10,000 each, thereabouts, and which was really good. So that was the money left over for that. So I thought I'll just buy something that I'll always keep, that's a bit unique in remembrance of me mum. And so this is what I got. So I'll never sell as long as I'm alive, because even if it only sits in the shed and comes out twice a year, but I ride it pretty regular, but even if it only does that, what's it matter? It's just rego a year and insurance. Oh, stainless steel or aluminium or stainless plate under the number plate here so it doesn't crack, and it's all screwed and then screwed through the guard so it's not vibrating at all, and just things like that. It's fully road registered, this old girl, in Queensland, which is eastern state, one of the eastern states of Australia. And nice tool bag, which I had a few tools in there, but I always just carry a backpack with a few tools and a bit of oil and whatever. But this bike's actually, since I put new carby on, the fuel economy on this bike's actually quite good, because you just do not have to rev it. Really, what much else, I can't really tell you much else about it. Got the MPE stickers on it, they're nice little protectors. And the front brakes, after I got the MPE done, stopped the oil leak, and probably need to put a new set of disc pads in it, but the front brake's working a lot effectively, it's not getting any oil moisture on it. But it's a bit dirty at the moment. But on that note, just want to nick out.